So I finally finished Metaphor as well.
Gosh.
Let's go.
So
out of 10?
Fucking 10 out. Nah, it's not 10 out of 10.
But it's better than Persona.
It is it is a better story than Persona.
Thank you.
Any of the Personas?
I feel like it has one of the strongest stories.
I think it has one of the strongest stories.
I think a
safe answer.
big thing and a big factor into me saying this is they gave the main character a personality, and I really fucking fuck with that. I'm so tired of JRPG characters being this like lifeless husk.
Yeah, the main character actually has dialogue.
Yeah, that he has dialogue, he has a personality.
Yeah.
I mean, I like that.
Which is it's all we wanted.
But I would tell you the thing that stops it from being a perfect game.
Don't say what I think you're about to say.
No romance options. No romance options.
Why would that make it good?
Huh?
Why would that make it good?
Look,
Why'd you just stick your dick in everything, guy?
it's not even about sticking my dick in everything.
Just because you want to fuck the white-haired girl.
No. Okay.
Nice
First off,
sorry.
First off,
which is hilarious because I'm pretty sure she's tan.
First off, Joey.
Yes,
so I do have a white girl wife. Yes. Second off, Joey. Come on. Look. There are so many. Look, it wouldn't bother me as much if they weren't fucking teasing.
No.
If it's specifically, I
agree.
swear to God, it was almost as if, like, so I don't think every game needs a romance option, but Metaphor specifically, there are so many moments that I swear to God, they're teasing you with like dialogue or with options, and I'm like, this feels like it should have a romance
Especially the
option
further you go in each of their social links, the sexual tension becomes palpable.
Yeah, so there's this one scene where I'm like, okay, this needs to have this feels like it was designed to have a romance option in it.
Yeah.
It was with one of the characters that shows up, is a like princess kind of like leader of a tribe. And in like one of the very first scenes with her, she like you ask for a handshake. You ask for a handshake. You ask for, and she's like, oh, handshakes means something different in my tribe.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm like,
she's so shy about it.
Bro.
Look, all I'm going to say, what the fuck was the name again?
No, not Juna.
Not Juna. Bring her up. Look, if all I'm going to say is if Metaphor had a romance option, I would have picked her. That's all I'm going to say. Yuffie, that's it. Yeah. Oh, was it a U?
Yeah. Yufa.
That's it. Yeah, Yufa.
That image is not doing her justice.
Yeah, she's got 3 eyes.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Because her entire tribe is 3 eyes.
Yeah, her entire tribe
lovely.
is like
Yufa.
3 eyes. But as soon as they introduced her character, I was like, this, like, there is like several moments in Metaphor where you have to like basically pick a date to hang out with.
Okay.
Which is a staple of like the Persona series as well, where there will be these special events. And yeah, I don't know. I don't want to be that gamer that is just like, let me pick romance options. But in this case, I was like, you know what? Sometimes just give gamers what they want. No, you don't need romance. What?
I don't give a fuck about romancing these fucking.
Why?
Why? What do I get from that?
No,
you get a fucking cute ass. What else are you gonna get?
I don't know. I just don't need that.
You get
that was the best part about the Persona games, where it's like at the end of all of the after all the grinding and after all the all the story you've gone through, and you're just like, I've picked that one character.
Yeah,
that I want that little extra scene.
Sometimes
I think I'm missing something. 'Cause I just hate romance in games.
Really?
Yeah, I hate romancing. Like the act of having to romance, not like
having a romance in games.
Yeah, I found romance, but the act where I have to fucking romance, I'm like, oh my fucking god.
No, why do you hate that?
Why do you hate that?
It's just so much fucking work, isn't it? For nothing.
No, it's not for nothing.
It's not for nothing. You get a cute
I
scene
don't
out
want
of
to
it.
fuck these characters or romance.
It's not even about.
In the Persona games, you get to kiss at the end.
I don't want to kiss these characters.
I do. I want to kiss them. They're cute as fuck.
I respect your opinion.
The moment I find a cute character in any like Atlas games and Persona Shin Megami Tensei games, I'm just like, I need to see the fucking main character and this girl kissing. Otherwise,
Yes.
I cannot stop the game.
Yes, you get it. You get it.
Need it.
Doesn't it suck though that every time they release a game now, if there's no romance, all the fans will be like, "Where's the romance?"
If Persona 6 doesn't have romance, boycott.
Okay, that feels a bit dramatic.
I need it.
Well, okay, that's how I felt towards Metaphor, because I know there is a lot of vocal people about Metaphor to say that it doesn't need romance. And
Yeah.
no, it doesn't.
In an aspect, it doesn't.
It doesn't
yes.
need romance to be an amazing
It doesn't.
game.
Yeah.
But I would like
No,
it.
it does need it.
But I would like it. Are you telling me that adding romance options to Metaphor would not have made my playing experience even better?
We got
Would it help my playthrough though?
we got to show Connor the
Which has
merchant
never
girl.
happened.
We got to show Connor the merchant MILF girl.
Okay, let me see if I change my mind real quick.
All right. I forgot her fucking name. Just type in Metaphor white-haired character. I forgot. Yeah, white-haired girl. I forgot her name. Yeah. Fucking. What the fuck was her name again? Brigitta. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
Brigitta.
man.
Oh.
How old is she?
Definitely an adult. Don't worry. Yeah, Brigitta.
Oh,
Brigitta. The part about Brigitta, legitimately. Look, I'm not into tsunderes at all.
Okay, I would.
I want to see
Like-
age.
like,
I want to see age.
okay.
I need to see how much woman I'm working with. Can we get Brigitte age?
Who would you romance if you had to pick? Because I went with Brigitta.
For me, it's either Brigitta or Yuffie.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Because like for me, the thing that sold me was when she was like she comes off this like cold ass businesswoman, and then she's
then the
like
dog?
and then she's like, yo, but can you like take care of my dog, please? Like
Yeah,
I
she feels.
What is this game? by the way?
feels-
What the fuck is this game?
The first like 3 stages of her like of her social links is just like this like kind of cold-hearted, like has absolutely no empathy, anything like that, like purely businesswoman.
Yeah.
But then when she takes on the role of looking after like a client's dog and she learns empathy from that and love. And then when the dog gets kidnapped and she goes on a killing spree, I'm just like,
Yeah,
oh,
Okay, I think this game needs romance. I think I've changed my mind. We need romance for Brigitte.
Brigitte is so hard.
I just think we need romance in this game. It's a
Yeah.
crime they haven't, honestly.
honestly, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Something about my gamer brain. Maybe I've just like been experienced like too many JRPGs. Because I swear, I feel like in like traditional RPGs, like you have shit like the BioWare stuff with like Dragon Age and Mass Effect. And I feel like in JRPGs, romance is always seems to be a part of the storyline very, very often. And I think that just like programmed my brain to being like, give me romance, give me a romance subplot or romance options. Because I remember the very first game where I discovered like romance option in RPG, and it was actually like Knights of the Old Republic. I'm like, I remember being like,
You can romance in that?
yeah,
Really?
yeah. I mean, it's like the first BioWare game.
Oh shit!
It's one of
I
the-
never played it, so I don't know.
Oh, fucking brilliant game.
Fucked up.
That fucking unlocked something in my mind because I remember being a kid.
Who do you romance in that?
Jar
Sorry.
Jar Jar?
Java?
No. Can you search up Knights of the Old Republic
I don't got enough dick for Jar.
character?
Can I fuck Boba Fett?
Yo.
No, it's who are the romance options again? I completely forgot.
Damn, I never played this game.
Yeah, me neither.
Oh, this is a goated game, man. Probably my favorite piece of Star Wars media.
Bastilla for male
Bastilla,
characters
yes,
and
I
Karth
romance-
and Juhani for female players.
Man, female players got more options than male
What the
players?
fuck?
What was going on?
They don't understand gamers.
Yeah, because I remember playing this as a kid, and I was like, wait, some of these dialogue options sounds like flirting. What's up with that? And then
Me learning flirting. for the first time.
Yeah.
me learning flirting from like a fucking dialogue tree.
Yeah, I mean, all I'm saying is, if I was single and I was talking to a girl, if I don't get the like option whenever I get like a good dialogue option, then I don't know if I'll.
I mean, bro, you grew up playing visual novels, the fucking genre for romance.
Yeah, but fucking visual novels like gives you a false sense of riz because it's just literally 2 options. It's
That'd be a great name for an album.
false sense
False
of riz.
sense.
Yeah.
That's my next album.
What's your next album?
Yeah, it gives you a false sense of riz because it's just like, oh, okay, you have this like dialogue option where it's like it's either the obvious correct answer or it's the I'm a fucking psychopath with no sympathy answer.
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder which one is gonna get the girl. You know?
Okay, do you know the biggest things that the moving topic, the biggest thing that pisses me off about the Persona series?
Go on.
So
I'm listening.
Should be a station.
okay, so in the
That is a bitch to navigate.
in the social links,
Yeah.
right? You have to pick the right dialogue option in order to optimize how like friendly they are to you.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So to explain, Connor, to increase your social link, you hang out with characters, and
Just
you have
the
to
right
pick the right dialogue option
Right.
for that personality type. Sometimes, what dialogue option is best for that character just seems fucking randomized, man. You're like, sometimes you're just like,
feel you.
do you think mass murder is wrong? And you have to pick like, and you pick like,
We should
no.
have both sides.
Yeah. And you'd be like, no. And that pisses off the character or something like that. And I'm just like, what is this?
Yeah, no, it'd be like, do you think mass murder is wrong? It's like,
Yeah.
no, absolutely, it's terrible. And it's like, wow, what a fucking closed-minded statement.
Yeah.
I'm just like, what the fuck?
I'm like, what are these dialogue options
Yeah,
right
no,
now?
I feel that.
And I feel like BioWare has like sometimes, I know how many RPGs you play, but sometimes you pick dialogue options and
I think it's because, like you sometimes you get the self-insert character.
yeah.
And they would just say shit that I would never fucking say in that situation. I think
Yeah.
that pisses me off.
But that's why I liked Metaphor, because it wasn't a self-insert character. It was an actual character.
I think
with
that would work better, yeah.
Yeah, it was a character with personality that clearly was just like a character that you're currently looking in the eyes of to
Yeah.
experience the story, but it doesn't force you to be like, this is you.
I think that sounds much better than Persona, where it's supposed to be like a blank character for you
Yeah.
to kind of be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then oftentimes it's like, maybe they're like, I would be like, that's fucking stupid. Like, no, say one of these two. And they're both basically saying the same thing, but slightly different.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of like babyish.
Yeah.
Where it's like the dialogue is, it's like trying to give me the illusion of choice, which I never had.
Yeah.
I think that the moment I see that, I'm immediately turned off. Whereas if it's a character, it's like in some aspects, I appreciate they let me choose.
Yeah.
But in other ways, I'm like, if it's a character, the dialogue should be written for him.
Well,
I should not have a say in what this character says. Even if there's an extreme option, why am I able to then just ignore that the next time, pretend like I never said the extreme option, right?
Yeah. Do you feel like you need to be able to relate to the character you're playing in order to appreciate the game? Because I feel like a lot of games, they try to make it a blank slate because they're like, oh, you could insert yourself into this character. Whereas you have other games where it's like the main character is a specific character.
I think it completely depends, because like sometimes I don't mind the self-insert character if I know that, the stakes are maybe low, or maybe I'm just there to kind of be there for the ride.
Yeah.
But then there are some games where by the main character not being a self-insert, it further enhances the story experience,
exactly.
right?
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't mind the fact that for most Persona and Shin Megami Tensei games where the characters are the kind of blank slate self-insert type of characters, because that's the kind of point of the game, right? Like, that's the world you want to explore.
Yeah.
But, if we're sticking to like Atlas, for example, you have games like Catherine, where like the main character very much has his own type of personality that you can choose which direction you want to go in, but it's clearly not, even though you can dictate what kind of personality trait he's going to have for the remainder of the game, he still seems like his own character. You know what I mean?
And,
that's
kind of like borrowing his story.
Yeah, you're basically playing God and like pushing him in a direction to
Yeah.
be like, you can be the good guy this time, or you can be the absolute dickhead.
Yeah, and I feel like that's what the original Mass Effect did really well as well, where you can go like the good route or the evil route. But I think the base character was always there, and it always felt like if you picked like the good dialogue, then it was like it still felt right for that character being a good guy. And then if you pick the bad dialogue, it was like, oh, it's just this character being an extra, feeling kind of like assholey that day.
Right.
And the thing I appreciate about Metaphor is that I had a good idea about what the main character was. It was just how sassy do I feel like on the day sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
Where-
I feel you.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah,
where,
for
where
sure.
I'm like, I can be a good boy, or I could be a good boy with just a little bit of sass.
Yeah.
You know?
I also hate choice when it's unimportant.
Yeah.
I hate when they just give me a choice and
God.
it's meaningless.
Yeah.
Because I stress about it. I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, I genuinely don't want to fuck something up.
Yeah.
And then you'll go through the game and be like, man, all the decisions are pointless, huh? And then someone will be like, you missed the one decision. That was actually pretty crucial. You should have known that you should have flipped the toast over
But that's what I
before
like.
eating it.
That's what I like a lot about a lot of Atlas games specifically is that like they're so good, especially in like games like Catherine or the Persona series, where they build it up so that each decision doesn't necessarily create one large impact, but it's more so a collection of small impacts that eventually lead to a large impact.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's like, like this because, in like, say, the Persona games or like even Metaphor, when you're doing the social links, the dialogue options that you can pick, they don't necessarily affect immediately how the story is going to go. But in the long run, it could get to the point where it's like, oh, because I made those small wrong decisions, my social link isn't as high as it is, which makes the end fight a little bit more difficult, or maybe I'm missing out on a couple of things. So I think I prefer that rather than one giant, like, this will decide whether you get the good ending or bad ending, and then the rest of the dialogue just doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, I mean, me and Pete get into arguments pretty much every time we talk about Mass Effect. Because one of the biggest controversies about Mass Effect is that the ending of the final trilogy of Mass Effect was kind of like, it didn't really matter too much. It was kind of like just like, no matter what choices you made leading up to that point, it was kind of like just three flavors of endings.
Right.
And then that was it.
Right.
But I still like, P hates that. And, I can understand that. But to me, it was the choices up to that point that really determined what journey you took. And to me, the journey was like, the amount of variation in the journey itself was memorable enough that I didn't care so much that, hey, every choice mattered in terms of getting like 27 different endings. Because one big pet peeve I have about games is that if there are like too many endings, I'm like, I
hate when there's too many endings and they're only like tiny different.
Yeah.
Right. Like, actually, he's wearing a blue scarf in this ending, which signaled that he did not approve. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Why do they have to play 5 hours to get that?